put it in the chat.
Welcome to Chicago. It is late at night, so let us play.
And we're live. What perfect timing. So welcome back, everybody, to Windy City Kindred. We've had a little bit of a week off, a little bit of a break. We've got most of our cast back, and yet we're missing some people still. Lilith is back, but Sister Vindicta won't be joining us. So welcome back, Grace. Things are happening at the midway point in our story here. I'm going to try to go through it quickly from the beginning, and then we'll pick up from where we are. In the beginning, this ragtag group of disparate kindred was thrown together to run out to Gary, Indiana to check on some rumors. What you came back with was information about a coterie that was going to attack delegates of La Sombra that were coming to town. The secret's out. The La Sombra have come to Chicago. Sure enough, you reported the information about the Gary coterie, and then, since you were already on the inside of this information, were sent to sort of smooth the way for the delegates that were coming. Presumably that all went well, except you were attacked by First Light agents, and then upon your rest, you were attacked by the Gary coterie's ghouls that they had made over the time they'd been in Chicago. One of the La Sombra was staked through her heart, went into torpor, had massive damage, burned on one side of her face. She is resting at the Diamond Yama. Turns out she is heir to the hotelier fortune. Her name is Sierra Van Burris. You haven't seen her since. Malenkov, her brother, as Kindred, is loose on the streets of Chicago. You've heard rumors that he's bearing his fangs around town and having himself a good old time. For the prince, for the sheriff, this is turning into a nightmare. The delegates were here from the Sabbat to seek sanctuary, to join the Camarilla as an entire clan, not just refugees, one or two. They brought a letter from the head of their clan tally requesting admittance to the Camarilla. This secret wasn't ever going to keep, and it is now slowly bubbling around town. But your main mission is to seek out these sons of bitches from the Gary coterie who have caused so much problem. You've gone about it in different ways, but amongst you, there's been, a little tension within the group. Lilith had not joined you for the previous night and went off on her own. She phoned back in to tell you guys that she had some information. Turns out she had exactly the same information that you had about where the gangrel were staying and when they showed up there. The rest of the coterie does not actually know how Lilith came into that information, but she did. Meanwhile, the sister is trying to stave off Dusable's influence or interference, as it might be, with the tech inventor K. Marshall Ellis, who is on the verge of presenting you all with unique V-phones that can finally allow you to communicate amongst yourselves freely, openly, and safely without worrying about the government spying on you. In fact, no mortal eyes or ears would ever be able to break this phone. That is coming in the days to come. Nights, I should say. But his technological inventions involving the blood and its disciplines, those have been passed along. As we catch up with the group, most of the coterie is at the Painted Lady, talking to Edith Beaubien. And Edith Beaubien is a local Nosferatu with her ear to the ground. You had gone there to see how you might track down and capture a Nos like Malort, the gang or the Gary coteries super spy, you might say. So that is where everyone is at that point, at the point we left the last game. But let me go back just to the beginning of this evening, where Lilith, you rise in your haven. I need a rouse check from you for this evening. How you're doing on your hunger. It's been a while since you've joined us.
Shoot. So
yes.
I failed.
You are hungry. The growling in your stomach is like, oh, I need something to eat. How long has it been? Have you fed recently?
I haven't needed to, so I just have 2 dots right now.
2 dots.
Yeah.
It's not an impossible level of hunger, but it is an inconvenient one. It's a hunger pang. You're used to one. One is normal. Having none is like having a good meal, but it just doesn't last.
Right.
Where would you like to begin this evening?
I mean, it'd probably be at my house and trying to catch up with the coterie. Because I contacted them with the information last night that I had gathered, even though they had already had it, I would recognize the need for me to kind of join back up with them to accomplish this because I can't do it alone.
Sure. At the time when you wake, if you contact any of the coterie, you'll find out they're, I believe, meeting. Julian and the sister met at the lab. Was that right?
Yes.
Okay. So she'd at least know you two would be there. That'd be the information Lilith gets at the earliest point of the evening. We're a little bit past that now.
Right. So I guess I'd probably go over to the lab to see if they're there, but I'm assuming I'm on their coattails.
Interestingly, when you leave your little brownstone, let's take you there. I've got you. I've got a place for her. Where is your house? Lilith's row house. Here we are. Outside of your house, you've got your blood red Lexus with the massive spinning rims on the 22s. And
it feels a lot more comfortable now.
Yeah. If you hadn't hit the horn yet, you'll find a truly Vato La Cucaracha noise coming out of it.
I would assume driving around town on my time apart from the group, it would have happened.
In Chicago traffic, even at night, you've got to hit the horn.
Always.
But across the street is Damien, the sheriff.
Okay.
He notices you coming out of the house and just sort of walks over. Oh, is this where you live? I didn't know.
Yeah, this is usually where I spend my days.
So, well, I'm down here because there was another body in this neighborhood, and I don't know. You know anything about that? This one's just a human lived around the corner.
I don't know. Being in Chicago, these things happen.
No, yeah, well, yeah, this one's a little, drained not in the proper way, and the body wasn't hidden, and it's a kind of a masquerade breach,
I don't know.
That's why I'm looking into it. So you don't know anything about it?
No, I mean, I don't know what I could know.
Well, I didn't know you lived here. I thought maybe you knew who was around,
I've been away for a couple of days.
Yeah, this was pretty recent. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks. If you see anybody, you shouldn't be around here. Those unregistered, caitiff types. The prince doesn't want them around. So
I'll be sure to make sure you know.
All right. Yeah. All right. Damien will, do his little thing and walk off. and take off in whatever crap mobile he has.
Yeah.
You probably know.
Yeah, I do.
Does he have a name? I forget.
I don't think so, because I
we're
don't
trying
think
not
I
to
know
name
it.
him. I think we're trying not to name him because he's so tragic. It's. You will also get a call. Over the past night, you sought out new mentorship, different at least from the kind of mentorship you were getting from the La Sombra in your group. And your friend will call you and tell you he's got some information.
Okay. I'd ask, do you want me to come see you, or?
No, I think I can give you this one. The old Masonic Temple, Southside. That's where that Nos is. That you've been looking for.
Okay. Did you see her down there? I mean, I don't know how you could.
No, not me. Just ear to the ground, doing you a favor.
Okay. I appreciate it. Thank you.
He'll hang up. You know who that was, too. So you've got an address now, at least where Malort, the sneaky Nos, is hiding out.
Right. I mean, I don't know what their plan is. I don't know if they're planning on going, like, how they're going to go about luring the coterie out of the graveyard or the cemetery.
About the time that you're wondering that, so were they. What they decided was they had one Nos symbol that was a safety symbol that was meant to be placed outside of the cemetery when it was all clear.
Right.
They've gone to see another Nos to see if there is something more they could learn. Other symbols, other techniques for luring a Nos, how the Nos work. They're using the tattoo and gone to see Edith Beaubien at the Painted Lady.
Right. Okay. So I mean, I'd head over there once I learned that information and just kind of stumble in to the bar or the club.
When you arrive, there will be someone who greets you, takes a look at your tattoo, and says, yes, your group is in the back. They will lead you down a hallway with different doorways, each a private room, no more than 10 by 10, and yet each room, there's a little something different. There's some wild screaming coming out of this one, and a different kind of screaming coming out of this one. Oh, and this one's all laughs over here. But at the end of the hall is Edith Beaubien's office.
Okay.
And when you arrive, you will see that the rest of your coterie is, just sitting around the table. Oh, let me get you over here. Painted Lady. Around a hideously disfigured Nos with a gigantic head, ears, no nose, pursed lips around a long cigarino that she doesn't actually smoke but lets burn from her tips. She has only just reappeared in the flesh after having vanished for them. Okay. So there might be a look of astonishment on some of your coterie's faces. You walk in at the exact moment that Sister Vindicta walks out. She's just gotten a message on her phone and excuses herself almost impolitely and jets for the door. And there we have it. Not as brief as I would have liked, but we've covered a lot of ground here in the first half of this story. We've gone all over Chicago. So, Lilith, you walk into the meeting. I don't think you look the same as probably when you left.
I probably would be wearing the same clothes, but they are absolutely, you can tell I've been sleeping in them, resting in them. I haven't changed, I haven't showered. I'm pretty grungy.
Yeah, there's rips, tears at a couple of places. Okay, but there you are. Julian, Arthur, hello. We're picking right up from the middle of this meeting. Arthur, you love Edith Beaubien.
Oh, she's great. She's fantastic. Almost the point it'll be sad to see her go. She was, but it's definitely interesting seeing the young blood that ghosted us. It's like, Layla, it's so good to see you again. Where have
And
you been?
Edith is there's another one. Huh? Come in, darling. Sit down. Oh, one in, one out. That's how life goes, huh?
It does seem that way.
Pardon, madame, this is an associate of ours, is Lilith. She has been, I presume, on very important business.
You all are so important.
I just
Your words,
needed
not
to get.
mine.
I needed some time. I needed some time to get my priorities in line. I know where we stand. We need to. It's important that we dispatch this coterie.
Ooh,
She comes. Huh?
dispatch. Oh,
Fantastic.
talking
So-
my language.
So
No, say what you say.
we had been discussing the exchange of some additional code words.
See.
Woman of many languages.
Oh, Beaubien,
Cultured, yes.
we
We were thinking food and maybe cachet as 2 words to use.
I can give you what you seek. Yes, she will draw on a pad the symbols that you're looking for. Sliding them over to easy enough. Put them on trees, and she sort of means to give it a little carve.
And just that is part of the initiation of this code that you use. It has to be on a living bark.
Oh, that is where we look for them. When we go out, we see them. We do not like on the real structures. You know what I mean?
Wait, this is intriguing. I am always on the spycraft. This is how I do it. It's lovely. You're fantastic at it.
Uh-huh.
Well, we have now. Unless there's anything else, I'm skimped. I merely want to partake in the delectable things here at the club.
Oh, I love it. Oh, we have what you need, what you like.
You know me so well.
And I will watch your dog. And she finds something that she can see him. Napoleon. Stupid.
He is partial to femurs,
Oh.
but the marrow is.
So how long is that going to take? Like an hour?
Would you like to roll for something here?
You're the storyteller. You weave this however you want to do it, my man.
Oh, but this is a place where your delights come to fruition. Yeah?
He'll do like a beer flight of carnal delights to sample a bit of everything.
The hallway that Lilith came down and that all of you walked down on your way. On your way out, you could pop in each little room along the way. You should find something different in each of them. Now, mind you, some of them are still mortal pleasure, and some of them are kindred pleasures. And some of them tread the line between both. So you know.
Yeah,
You may
he'll wet his palate, do a bit of like, a bit of a tasting, and then once he's had his curiosity slaked and knows what he'll be coming back for on his own penny, then he'll join the rest of the coterie.
Excellent. Mark yourself 2 superficial damage on your sheet.
Yes. Oh, fantastic. Good old fortitude, already worth it.
Now, superficial damage, you can rouse yourself at the end of the evening to try to heal that. Or you can just, let it ride, as it may be. Your choice. But for
coming out, it's been like a little like, ooh, ow.
Well done.
So I guess I'd turn to the group once we're back together and say, is there one that you're trying to go after first? Are you trying to go for the Nos?
She's been rather invasive, yet equally elusive. So binding her down and making sure she's less free to go and pass word to her friends.
Do we know if she is staying at the cemetery?
She is not. She is what you got the call about.
No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I just want to know if they know that.
They don't believe they do.
Yeah. Because I know that, from what I remember, everyone had the intel that it was the cemetery that we were supposed to be going to.
Yes. The gangrel, at least, are laying their heads at the cemetery during the day. And what you've all learned is that they tend to arrive just in the minutes before dawn so that they spend very little time above ground in that cemetery. Mm. But being gangrel, they can earth meld. Now, there is a problem with that too, and that is you can't take your clothes with you when you do that. So oftentimes, if you earth meld outside or somewhere in public, you'll just see a pile of clothes laying on the ground.
It's the rapture.
I think Arthur would know that the smart gangrel who use this tend to shed their clothes and store them before they do this, so that they can conceal where they actually are.
And even if we have, a kill order on these guys, going into the cemetery and lighting it up would be bad.
You can't kill them in the open cemetery because the open cemetery needs to be a haven, a safe haven for everybody. It's one of the prince's orders.
So since we're looking for the little songbird of theirs, we've been thinking of luring her out using these methods they use to mark the places where they rest in the cemetery, finding a controlled environment and clip their wings.
I got some information about where she could be staying.
And
it's the Masonic Temple in the Southside.
How perfectly cryptic. I love it.
No better place for her to stay.
Yeah. Arthur, you'll check his watch. The present time?
You are after midnight, but before 1, so you have 5 or 6 hours before the...
Oh, hell yeah, we've got plenty of time.
And as you're moving through the fall here, the days are getting shorter.
Yeah.
The nights are getting longer.
Yeah, and we fall back tonight, so...
Oh.
And unless anyone has any objections, perhaps we go with the intel we have concrete first, see if she's in fact there. If not, we can consider our little trap.
And if she is there, or where are we, by the way, physically right now? Are we still in the club?
On the map.
Yeah, we're in the club right now. Probably like right outside, I think.
Bang is the painted lady.
Right. Like, I mean, are we physically in the club? Because I won't say this if we're not physically in the club.
No,
I thought
mean,
you had walked outside. I heard some. That's why I went to the map. So
Okay.
I'm assuming you're not.
but we didn't ever say we went outside, so we could be outside.
Oh, well, you make up your minds.
We're
Then.
We're Schrodinger's coterie. We are both in and outside.
So cut it in the middle. Say we're in the lobby.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay. So if we're in the lobby, I'll say she has been watching us. So if we attempt to go where she is, what's to stop her from observing us and then relocating?
As I have. Well, perhaps she's been watching me and I've not been aware, but
I saw her.
So you think she might have a vested interest in you as given your clan affiliation? She might mistake you as part of the illustrious guests we have.
Or perhaps she's just continuing her previous work. I mean, didn't that coterie attack you?
Oui.
So I don't think it's just me.
I forgot Jillian wasn't at the flop house with us.
Right. They know, whoever we are, that we were tasked with protecting the Lasombra who came to the city. So I don't think that we're going to be able to attack her with a direct approach. I think that that's why they have her out there. Yeah.
At least it'll give us a place to start luring her out from. We can go in that, but I don't know. If she has eyes locked on us, we can't be the ones to lure her.
So we use our one shared attribute, daylight.
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
If we all go to ground, we have, I believe, should all have people who don't go to ground, who maybe could do some work during the daytime for us.
Human retainers.
Right. Personally, I know no humans anymore.
Okay. Arthur?
Your fighters are getting ready for that tournament. I mean, you could, we're that's all getting like rolling and going, but you could pull somebody away from that.
Let's see if someone wants to make a little extra money on the sly. Yeah, I could see what I'm doing. Reorganizing the power structure right now, but I'm sure there's always an enterprising young man looking to make some quick, dirty money.
I mean, they did it to you.
As they say, an eye for an eye, the whole world goes blind. But that's what disciplines are for, no?
Arthur. You know what? Give me a little roll of the dice. Something having to do with the local political financial scene.
Street. That sounds like it might be streetwise.
Yeah, because you as a kind of a slumlord, no offense, you do own
none taken
buildings. You keep your ears to the ground. You might have heard about some property here. So give me a roll involving either your wits or intelligence and either your streetwise or whatever you have that's
wits and street, unless I'm looking into like things that are specifically for kindred interest, which that might be a cult. But
no,
I think
this is a financial interest. Do you have finance?
I do not. I have larceny, 1 dot of that, and 2 in streetwise.
Go with your streetwise and what's higher, your intelligence or your wits.
Slumlord larceny. We're making political statements.
Let's see. That is a wash on the dice.
Now,
I'm gonna.
you never heard
I'm
of
gonna
this
spend a
place.
willpower to re-roll that. I'm gonna spend a willpower to re-roll because why the fuck not?
Okay, you can re-roll 3 dice. Give me 3 successes.
Yeah. Hey, yeah. Let's do that. Yeah.
Come on, good dice.
Fucking. Okay, there we go. There's a 10, a 4, and a 7. Okay.
Well, wait. 10 counts as 2, and the 7 counts as a pass. So
There you
that's
go.
3.
Yep.
Final.
See, I need you to call out like what I need, like way more, so I don't so I don't fucking have the accident my way to success.
Arthur's all tuckered out after his adventures in the club, so he needs a little bit of time to recharge.
Yeah.
The Southside Masonic Temple, colloquially known as, I think, number 886, is an abandoned building. It was put up for auction by the city, but it is uninhabitable, and therefore it's slated to be torn down anytime.
Okay.
It's one of those properties you may have looked at or have heard about. Not interested, because since you can't refab it into anything, but that's the type of building that Malort is presumably hanging out in.
Okay, so number 886 condemned.
Yeah, it's a condemned old Masonic temple, about 3 stories high. All the windows are boarded up. It's an old brick shithole about to fall in on itself.
I mean, just all we need is a stiff breeze, and there we go. Problem solved. Okie dokie. Willpower well spent.
Yeah, and I'll throw out margins across from now on. See if you can get that.
It's entirely joking because, man, these dice have been fucking me for weeks. Anyways, yeah, I think
I gotta say it. Rolling real dice sounds so good. It really does. It's good on the line.
And while dice hate me, RNGs hate me even more.
Yes,
So,
I would agree.
Yeah, Arthur doesn't have anything additional now that he's conjured that up from his battered and bruised body. That's c'est la vie. I'm done.
Are you going to tell us that information, Arthur?
Oh, of course, yes.
Okay.
I haven't learned my lesson.
Okay. Yeah, so Julian will not say anything because he's already made his suggestion.
Yep. There's we have a place, perhaps, if we want to do as our own little joint task force of our little human associates who can go in and tear the place down. Team building exercise. If you, Julian, have associates who would rub shoulders with gangland thugs.
Some of my best friends are gangland thugs.
I would go ahead and offer my place as a meeting house for everyone just because it is closer than other people's havens.
Pardon the shock.
Indeed.
Are you inviting members of your coterie to your haven?
I feel a lot comfortable in who I am now. I feel more comfortable sharing this.
She's a lot more comfortable. Yeah, she feels way more comfortable. In that those days she was gone, she replaced all the insulation with C4. So,
yeah.
Who knows?
If you want to be paranoid.
I mean, that's what Arthur would do. Oh yeah, come on in.
This is I'd say this is a pretty shocking 180 that everybody's here.
I would agree, but so is walking in like I did. So
interesting.
There it is.
Are you sure?
I wouldn't have offered it if I wasn't sure.
It just seemed rude to say no. This is something.
It's a convenient location. It gets
Regardless.
us closer without being.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate the offer.
She is actually right. If you're at the Painted Lady now looking on your map, Lilith's Haven is marked down there in back of the yards. When we say that the Nos is staying in the Southside Masonic Temple, it's literally the Southside neighborhood right here at the bottom of the screen. So
could you ping it again?
Ping it right here at the bottom of your...
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
it's like on the edge of the
I
map.
see.
It's
on
actually
the right-hand side. Okay.
Yeah, it's actually the Southside neighborhood, which is on the other side of back of the yards from where you are. It's actually convenient that she's offering her place.
Yes. So the question is, do we go there now, or do we wait until after the job's done? Because then she might know where you live as well, Lilith.
Something's telling me I'm going to have to move soon anyway.
Oh. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get
now
some...
I think the walls are filled with C4.
Yeah.
If you're paranoid, you can never be surprised.
Right. Well, we would need some gasoline, some construction, some construction-esque clothes or fire department type clothes, just so that they can make a clean getaway.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the resources to provide anything of the sort, but...
And that's perfectly fine. We all do what we can with what we have. Your offering of a more central location is more than enough. Thank you, Lilith.
I think that our men are more than capable to use accelerants of their own tastes.
Yeah.
The gasoline, petroleum jelly. I'm sure there's someone in this town who has white phosphorus, but
you're you're not going to need white phosphorus.
You don't know. You're not here.
Listen, so like, yeah. It's really really hard to come back from anything when everything is fused together.
Yeah, weren't you just on fire, Arthur? What would
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah,
what would have
it's the
finished
escalation game.
So Julian's going to say, what would have finished you off while you had been on fire?
It was something that would have been a lot harder to put out.
Okay.
I want to say napalm, but
yeah, I was thinking it too.
But we can slum it with.
I would say let's move this conversation from the Painted Lady at the very least.
No, I
all these Kindred like.
I honestly feel like this is the best place for it. I'm sure a couple of people here probably like being set on fire.
This is true, I suppose.
And besides, once we leave here,
you see somebody poke out the door with like a branding iron, looking around.
I'll be right with you, sir. Please step back inside. Yeah, I think that's probably our best bet.
If we wanted something more accessible, perhaps if we also want to take over an old friend, there's always jet fuel as a more accessible alternative.
Do you have access to jet fuel?
I'm
You
just
don't have a
saying
plane,
we go
Julian?
and we pilfer, we take.
Not one.
Interestingly,
I do.
I'm going to give you this one for free. Jet fuel doesn't actually make a good accelerant for building fires, only because it evaporates very, very quickly.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to mix some gasoline with some grease, and we're going to coat the entire place in it. And those two together, the grease and the gasoline, should be sufficient.
I take your word for it. I know nothing about accelerants.
It's good old sock bombs. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Are we good with that plan? And we'll like discuss the logistics. I'll send some people with me, but I'm going to give Narvin a separate job from all of that, so he's not going to be one of the people I send.
And yeah, Arthur he'll pull some prospects he doesn't have high hopes for, just given their
How many?
record.
How many of them? 1, 2, 3?
Total or per person?
Yeah, I'll say, because breaching clear solo is a pain in the ass. So probably I'll say 3, one for a car, unless we have
Okay.
a nice nondescript vehicle. I think, or I guess for a full team, no less than 3.
That will reduce your boxing club's participation in the tournament by 3. And I had originally figured you for 8 participants, so you're down to 5 contenders in the tournament.
Well, then I guess I need to go to Hate Church and drag someone out of there to make it an even 6.
Hate church.
You've got to feel out about that too. You've sent word that you've sent an invitation. So, but for right now, you've decided to burn down the place that the city wants destroyed anyway. The city will thank you, you figure. Yeah. You're going to send at least some of Julian's people and some of Arthur's people together to go take care of them. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure they're all going to be working together for the same purpose.
Absolutely.
Okay. And when do you want to send them? Now, Malort and the other 3 are all full-blooded kindred. They have to go to ground during the day. They have to get out of the sunlight.
Probably a little after dawn, or so that way it's the mortals of the city are still waking up. Something like that period between the kindred winding down and the city kind of revving back up in full.
There is that early morning sun on the horizon. Humans don't like it any more than kindred do. Believe me. So, earlier than rather than later in the day. Are you going to, how do I want to phrase this? Are you just going to burn the place down? Or are they going to verify that your target is inside? Because that is a different conversation.
Well, right. They would have, would they even be able to verify that, being human?
That's where we would get into a complication. Are you telling the humans what they're looking for?
I would say no.
Are you going to say, look, there's got to be a coffin in there somewhere, and if you...
No, that's why I said Narvin has a separate job.
I would offer that I could assure that she's there.
And how could you do that?
I think I can, I suppose. I've never done it before. It's something I think it's time for me to do it, but I don't know.
Do what, Lilith?
I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying. So it's the next step on my lore path is what it is.
Yes, it is. And what a wonderful place to be in if you really wanted to experience it. because that's exactly what this place is all about.
Right.
But you can pull a little knife out of your pocket.
Right, which I would, I suppose.
You can anything that would do
Right.
1 point of damage.
But I wouldn't want to do it until right before the drop. Right before we're certain we're going to send the people in and
Do what? Lily?
Are you going to tell them that you have a power?
Yes, I will, I suppose, because obviously I don't know another way to veil it, so I will be truthful. Say that I have a power. I have a power that will grant me one vision of anything that I want.
Oh, wow.
I just have to harm myself.
Okay.
Intriguing.
I would be able to
Interesting.
ensure she is there before the men rush the building, or however they come up to the building.
Yep.
Oh,
And
God,
you
I
need to
wish
do
Edith
it.
Beaubien had heard that part of the conversation. She would have loved this so much.
Okay. Well, here's my question. Storyteller. Like they roused Arthur for a moment while he was sleeping. Is it possible to arouse a kindred during the daytime?
Oh, it is possible to rouse during the daytime. The circumstances dictate how difficult it is. The more extreme the circumstance, the less difficult it becomes. So if you're just trying to wake to make a phone call, it's extremely difficult. If you're trying to rouse like Arthur did because your goddamn place is on fire, it becomes a lot easier.
Okay. So yes, that's fantastic. Right before you go to ground, if you can confirm that she's there.
And I'll wait till the last moment possible.
Sure. I'll have Narvin be with you then. And you can tell him if she's there, and he will, if Arthur, you have my permission, you have permission, of course, if I have permission, to have Narvin direct the rest of our joint task force.
We are united in this front against these violent individuals, so I see no reason why not.
Okay, so that's the plan. Narvin will wait with Lilith right before she goes to ground. She does her vision. She tells Narvin where they are, and if she is at the Masonic Temple, Narvin sends the rest of the group there to burn it down.
Sounds good to me.
You got it.
Now I'm just thinking of it.
We planned.
Just do it. Just do it.
And you did it together.
I'm thinking.
Now
Teamwork.
Like how you can.
Yes, team building exercise. Make IEDs.
At this
I
point,
think-
we are still in the lobby of the Painted Lady, I believe.
Yeah.
I think
Does
despite me trying to bring everyone to my house, but
Yeah, because I don't. Okay. It's better left unsaid. Storyteller, question for you.
Yeah.
That is also really close to Kretus's library.
Well, Critias's library is on the campus of the University of Chicago.
Right. Yeah. It's like actually closer than Lilith's place.
Oh, you want to go see Critias?
I think I might. Would it be? Would I suspect that it would be fine for me to go to sleep there?
Oh yeah. If you
Oh.
if you ask him, or
Yeah.
just give him a little heads up, he'd be fine with it. He's got room. He's
Okay.
Students sleep there all the time.
Dope.
any couch, there's a student sleeping.
Yeah, and in his place is sort of under the underneath the. It's all protected from the sunlight. So
Okay. I'm going to say then this is where we are going to part ways for tonight. Narvin will be with you, Lilith. Please take very good care of him. I
I'll do my
have
best.
another appointment that I must attend to.
All
I guess
right.
this is idea for now.
Do I know about this meeting?
No,
God
I
damn.
lied. Because I don't want to insult Lilith. She just invited us to her place, but I'm not going there. I know.
He wouldn't be
feel
caught dead here.
No, I feel like there's C4 in the walls. You're being mad shady about it.
See, that's it. That's everybody now.
You're
We
being
all
mad.
think we're gonna blow the place up.
Yeah, you're being mad shady.
All
All of a
right, all
sudden, you
right.
come back with like a freaking and you're like, I need to do some research. Anyway,
As opposed to asking, he's just gonna go do it in the background.
right? Yeah, no. I want to go to a place close, but not Lilith because I think she's gonna blow the shit up. Okay, but I'm sending Narvin with you.
Right, yes. And I
I
will
love
take
Narvin.
very good care of Narfin as
Thank you.
best I can.
Thank you.
Arthur and Napoleon, do you want to crash over at Lilith's pad?
It's still like barely after midnight, right?
It was early. I honestly had expected you to spend more of
Yeah.
the night doing things.
Any business I can do over the phone. I'm yours. So yeah, he'll go. It's like fuck invitation, man.
If we're not going to ground yet, then I'll go to Lilith's place. I'm just going to sleep. I'm just going to head early to.
And I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I'd like everyone to come and meet at my house.
Yeah.
To kind of gather and do what we need to do, tactical planning, etc., and then we can split our own ways if necessary.
Dope. All right, so we're all headed to Lilith.
Lilith has a row house in back of the yards. You guys have, up until this point, I don't think ever even actually picked her up out in front of her place.
No, because I parked the car a block away, everything.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I love what you've done with it.
Here, let's get you here. This will be the right one. The middle row house, 3-story if you count the half basement, the basement that's half buried. But yeah, there you go.
You live at 227.
It's very bare. I mean, I'd say I have very minimal furnishings, cobwebs, leaves, all that shit in my house.
There's like a step up the old block.
Memories.
Just like sits down on a couch and just like.
This is why I never wanted to bring you before. It's nothing. This place is absolutely bare bones, and I know, especially Julian wouldn't feel comfortable here.
Julian is sitting on the couch. He just chilling.
Okay.
He put his shadows out under him, though.
He did not. He did not. He is lounging comfortably on the couch. He didn't look at it before he sat down. He didn't look around when he walked in the room. He walked in, put his coat on like the side of the couch, and then just sat down on the couch.
Then I would have turned to them and said, I would have expected you to have a different reaction to this place.
Just the way I see it, when it's built like this, you won't have random unexpected tenements suddenly living over you, huh?
Yeah, it's a perfectly fine starter crypt, especially if you don't want to be found. I don't see the problem.
Napoleon likes the wide open space. He'll make the little loop around when you run up the stairs and back down again.
Zoomies on a 300-pound dog.
He busts through like a stair, and I don't even care.
Falls through the ceiling.
Okay, so I guess I just get down to saying, like, what do I need? So the only thing I need to tell Arnarvin is that she's there, right? I don't need to tell him anything more.
Well, that she is there, and perhaps if your vision provides such clarity, where she might be holed up within the building, so that way we can concentrate the fire on that one position.
Okay. All right, I think I'll be able to do this.
I certainly hope so. Otherwise, we'll just have to blow the whole thing up.
We're going to do that anyway.
I assume that at this point, you're at least trying to wrangle your resources, Julian and Arthur, taking a couple of guys each or a few guys each. Arthur, you've got a driver. You're mixing up some supplies, and you've laid the intention that you're going to burn this place to the ground.
Yep.
What else would you like to do? It's pretty early. It's 2 a.m. Let's say you still got some time. It didn't take you long to get here.
Lilith, if you don't mind me asking, where were you?
Oh.
I mean, all of this is so new to me. I needed a different perspective. I was so wrong about so many aspects of this new unlife. I just need a realignment.
That's a can of blood she's opening.
Man. Oneg, brought to you by Coors.
So she answered without answering.
Yeah.
Again.
Lilith, please forgive me if I'm being too direct, but it almost sounds like you answered without actually answering. And so I don't want you to confuse my intentions. I only care because I'm putting my resources at stake based off of your information. So I want to make sure that we're all in this together. And you disappeared for several nights. And you reappear with a new perspective.
Totally 2, actually.
Oh,
but...
it was 2. Okay. I was naive. I didn't trust what this new realm was going to bring me. Getting with just more people like us, more people like me, finding where I belong in this new world.
And where was that geographically?
Chicago. No, I mean, so Julian, I understand your concern. You are bringing in people, the most valuable resource that anything can buy. I got with people who are more like myself. I learned what this entire society is about. I don't ask you these questions. How, like, why?
I don't disappear for several nights.
I didn't know you before a couple weeks ago.
I didn't know you before, and so this is beginning to become a bit of an issue. I have to let you know. You don't tell me if you don't want to tell me, but you're also asking me to trust you. So it's very confusing to me. I have to be honest.
You are asking me to trust you with all of your shadows creeping into every aspect of everyone's lives. You knew where I lived before anyone.
I didn't know where you lived.
How did the car show up here?
It showed up a block. Go ahead, Tony.
No, it did, but you have been looking.
That's not what she said. I didn't know where she lived.
But
Narvin found a man who said that he knew where you lived and offered to direct him to your place. But Narvin said no, because he didn't want to invade your privacy since you were so adamant about not knowing. So he simply parked the car in the general area with the note for you.
That is factual.
I still posit you got close, despite the fact I didn't want you to get close.
Close as in Chicago? Like what? There's two things happening here. One is your personal preference for your secrets, and another is a professional issue. I don't give a fuck about your personal preferences. I don't give a fuck about your decor. I don't care about your couch. I don't care about your lifestyle. I don't care about any of that. I don't care about any of that. This is a matter of professionalism. As a professional, you're asking people to trust that you are not going to stab them in the back. And so my question has nothing to do with whether or not you want to remain private. I don't care about the secret. I
told you that I would physically harm myself to prove the Nos is in where I said she will be.
You're a vampire. You're immortal. Next.
Would you harm yourself in this situation?
If I had the ability to find out where the person was, sure, absolutely.
And I'm doing the exact same. I don't know why you're questioning my intentions.
Where were you, Lilith?
I told you where I was.
Now, Lilith, you met a lot of people.
Yes, this is true.
You went to a couple of different places.
I suppose I could tell him that I was at that bar, the 3 flutes and a horn or something like that.
The horn and flute.
Oh yeah.
two guys, a girl, in a pizza shop.
and not to be too bold about it, but you were there with someone he knows.
Right. I would say that I conferred with friends at this place. And I personally don't remember whether or not they got that from oh God, what's his name? Gauguin? First guy.
Frank Gauguin, the one.
Or I don't know if he knows that that's a place where he hangs out. Where is it?
Well, technically, Gauguin wasn't hanging out there. You just ended up talking to him. It was Ray Falcon who was playing in the trio.
Yeah. So I'll tell him that I conferred with friends at this bar, the horn and the flute, and I spoke with Ray Falcon.
Okay. Fuck. Sorry. Excuse me.
In that whole exchange, we just been looking back, like he and Napoleon and Synchronous looking back and forth between them as they argued.
Yeah, you and Napoleon.
Guys,
yes,
driving me absolutely insane. Thank you for that. Thank you. Jeez.
By the way, Lilith, amongst those other people you met, there was that crazy ass French Canadian. He said you could call him if you ever needed something,
I know.
I'm just saying this.
All I'm saying, if I wanted to blow something up, I don't think I would need to put C4 in my own walls.
No, but if you wanted to blow up.
I don't know that that's something that you guys are concerned about. I'm being genuine.
I'm just saying, when you say you don't have any resources to take care of this, you do have a phone number that would level this building.
I suppose that's fair.
Okay, so just saying. Just so you
makes a phone call, just a bunker buster comes in and
anyway, that's probably more metagaming than the rest of the group needs. But I just wanted to remind her that as long as you guys are talking about burning the place down.
They were talking about burning the place down with using humans. I don't have that resource.
No, you but you can take care of it in other ways. Just saying. Throwing that
Yeah,
one out there for you.
She's
Nothing.
got the fucking drone commander on call.
All right. So I don't know where that leaves us between Julian and Lilith.
I think it leaves him hanging his head. Looks like.
But
All right.
I've been
I'll
meaning to
entertain
listen
them
to
as
her,
long as they stay there. I'll just
right,
with them.
I can be merciful to each of you if anybody needs to get out of this awkward situation.
No, Arthur will immediately step in and just inquires like,
Immediately.
"So you listen to Ray?" Yes. So, yeah, it's like how was Ray's jazz? Is it, or do you not have the ear for it?
His jazz was absolutely impeccable. I would definitely recommend going to the Horn and the Flute.
I was thinking of making the visit myself, but you beat me to it. How fate is so fickle, huh? This is good. Now I have a positive review from a reliable source. This is good.
Oh, I'm a reliable source. That's also good news.
Yes,
At least one of us think that.
I mean, you could also just, he could be sounding like was the fucking techno baby, whatever the shit that the sheriff plays, and you send me there, and my brain melts out my ears. So who knows? It would be a good trick, and I would be upset for 5 minutes.
Yeah, no, Ray actually has some talent as opposed to the sheriff.
I'm going to intentionally misname his band at every opportunity I can. But it's just I simply now must visit. But the timing was peculiar. I understand wanting to go and establish roots. I assume you were like you said, friends, probably members of clan, to understand where you stand.
I mean, exactly. You guys know so many people in your clan. This was my first encounter. I was trying to be something that I wasn't, but this experience showed me that I am who I've always thought I was.
It is self-discovery is important, and you have all of eternity for it now.
Looking forward to that part.
Julian, Narvin's got an important message coming through on his phone. He's going to give you a nudge and say you should probably head back to your con if you get a minute.
If you all will excuse me, I have to head back to my condo.
Busy man.
Somebody's got to bring home the bacon, right? Lilith, thank you for your hospitality and your candor. Arthur, Napoleon, and he will take his leave.
You're leaving Narvin behind, so take the car that you guys came in, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's get you over to your flat and get you out of this situation.
As we rip Narvin into pieces now.
Never mind. I don't know how to say it. Okay.
Oh, no, he's out of here. Narvin's not there. When you arrive to your, what did we say, penthouse level, or are you just below the penthouse level on your building?
I mean, probably the penthouse. Let's be real.
I had thought it was a 2-story penthouse.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
When you get there, your door is open.
Shit.
Bro.
I walk in. I assume that I know who it's going to be.
You do?
I think I do. If they're going to kill me, then we can start fighting. But I think I know exactly who would have the audacity to open my door. There she is.
Who is she? Oh.
Juliana.
Sexy.
Oh, Fiorenza.
It's so good to see you. I
Oh.
sorry for the intrusion.
Oh, no.
This is my man, Jewel.
I had to move my character sheet to see that, and I regret doing that. Oh my god. Whoo, malort. Okay.
And what a lovely mask that is. Absolutely.
He's dog ugly underneath, but hung like a mule.
Well, we have several spare bedrooms. One has a swing if you care.
Oh, no, darling. No, you're mistaken me, Juliano. I flew in secret-like. I came into Midway with my private jet, and the prince, he knows I'm here, so shh, keep quiet. And I got to go very soon. You are in grave danger. She is going to pull out something that every kindred thought impossible. But she has the unredacted Harker file.
Oh, shit.
It is a thick tome, and it details the CIA's first encounter with the undead of any kind, the Kindred specifically, an operative who went off the grid by the name of Daniel Bailey and took control of a black budget and created his own task force. Project Harker captured a Kindred and then took a dead and or dying soldier, it's unclear, by the name of Noah Gruel, and injected him with that Kindred blood. Perhaps that's the reason Noah doesn't grow fangs, is that he was not bit to become what he is. And it's potentially the only reason he's even thin blood at all. It's the reason he can potentially walk in the daylight, that he doesn't have that full embrace going on. Daniel Bailey was his handler and his food. He would come into town every now and then so that Noah Gruel can feed. Gruel's been using parts of that black budget to keep Felicity Miller in tow. He's used that influence to get the position he has at the airport. And he's reporting back everything about Chicago's Kindred to Black Site 24 and this operative by the name of Daniel Bailey.
Wow.
You are in grave danger. Undoubtedly, he sent the first light after you. They will come again.
I mean, this is much bigger than me.
Yes.
What do we intend to do about this danger?
Well, I flew into Midway. That is what I intend to do about it. I shall fly out of Midway and hopefully not encounter this man, nor appear on his radar.
So, I mean, Frona, thank you for the information. Is there some recommendation as to what I should do with it?
Kill him.
Noah.
You find Gruel. You end this. O'Hare is being run by First Light. The Second Inquisition. No Kindred is safe. But you do what you want to do, darling. I am going to steer far clear away from him. This is no good for me.
I understand. And thank you. for the heads up. And I definitely respect how you put yourself in harm's way to deliver it.
I could not send it any other way. Hmm?
Is there anyone on the council that you do trust?
You-
Well, and I use trust.
Yes. We
Very
speak of
specifically.
trust, I tell you this. What I know is Rosa Hernandez. She's been after the airport for quite some time. You can trust her to do what's right for Chicago.
I understand.
If
And
she
I-
wants the airport, it would be good for her to have.
Okay. I will nod and I will take her hand and kiss her hand and say I will keep you.
She's going to walk out, taking Jewel with her, dragging him along. She'll turn at the last minute and say, "They will listen to you now, Paisano. They will listen to you." And she'll walk out. Yes, you are in possession of the most damning and damaging information on the planet.
Is that's a red ass ledger.
Fuck. No, I'm going to go into my library. I'm going to go to my desk. I'm going to press a button, and the floor underneath my desk is going to open up. So it is 2 levels of the penthouse. I'm on the top floor. I'm going to go down to the bottom of the penthouse, which, if you were on the bottom floor, just looks like a wall that has pictures on it. And they're the computer that I send the code to every other week before my show. You know the one.
Yes, I do.
I'm going to start
This is
typing.
So insanely paranoid, too.
I'm going to start typing the information in to the computer.
You're going to transcribe the file?
Yeah.
You can also scan it.
I'm just gonna scan the all of the pages, the original pages, into it, attached to my kill switch.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Whew.
I'll blow this whole shit up if I do.
Very incendiary.
It's like that parody of the "Don't Tread on Me" flag, where it's the Cobra with the hand grenade. It's like, oh, I swear to God, I'll kill us all if you fuck with me.
I will. Okay.
Actually, I was thinking of Cleavon Little and
Yeah. Now all I have to do.
So he puts the gun to his own head.
Now all I have to do is figure out if I can get K. Marshall Ellis to make me a life alert that works off of Vitae, because then I could really
Just
not
hook-
have to say
the minute you die, it just goes.
Yeah, we'll work on it. And then I'm going to check something else. The hook and what was it? The horn and
Horn and flute.
horn and flute.
Now, so you know, it's a jazz club, but their sign is actually like a cornucopia and a champagne glass.
Okay, and the bar that we went to that had the what was had the guy that burns people. Was he a Nosferatu?
Oh, he was a Nos.
Crook.
Crook's
Right?
Bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crook's just called it Crook's Bars, and they're around town. There's about 5 of them.
So here's what I'm going to type into the file. I'm going to say, it's going to be, quote, I went to visit some of my clan to get some perspective. And then the 2 places that I'm going to put the Crook's Bar. Crook equals Nas.
Thanks.
Okay.
And that's it. I'm done.
So you're just going to Crooks? Or are you going?
Oh, no. Sorry. The header of the page was Lilith. I flip past my dossiers on Arthur and the sister, and I go to Lilith's page. The section header underneath that is origin, and it's been like a running list of all the weird shit, like how it doesn't match. I'm gonna put in how her apartment is a mess, but she says she's a Tremere, right?
So now you
Toreador.
think she's a
A Toreador.
Yeah.
And like how that doesn't match up. And then I'm going to write down how her quote was, I went to go visit people of my clan.
I see.
And next to it, it's going to say,
Charles
Crook.
It doesn't all need to be right. You can type whatever you want in your computer.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Lilith told you she went to the horn and the flute, or the flute and the horn.
You said both. You said both places.
I did.
You said I went to the bar that we went to before.
Oh,
and I went to the horn and flute.
She went to the bar that you went to before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think you're forgetting a bar.
Yeah.
The only other bar we went to together was Charles Crook Dawson's, right? Am I wrong?
I hate calling people wrong.
You can think whatever you want to think.
He was the one that burned. No, I'm asking as a player. Was there another bar that we went to?
There was another bar.
There was another bar.
Okay.
Fancy one.
No, not that one either. That was more of a dinner club anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe I'm crazy. Sure. Okay.
They call you crazy until your paranoia is proven correct. Then you were just anticipating all the things that went wrong.
I think that's Malkavian.
Oh, that's like the one that wanted to burn everything down. Is that not?
That was Crook.
No, that's Crook's bar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then that's what I'll write, because I definitely don't remember as a player going to any other bar. Maybe.
That's okay.
Okay, I'm done.
Give it a little bit of time. It's now a little bit later in the evening. Say we're pushing 4:00 here. Arthur, you're still over at Lilith's?
Mm-hmm.
We're having a chat, as you do. Members of the same coterie, you have to.
Yeah.
My newfound honesty.
So what has Arthur learned, perhaps, that Julian has missed? I imagine
I was in Chicago.
Yeah.
I imagine that Lilith opened up a little bit more when Julian left, because that's the real tension in the group that I find. And yet I don't
because Arthur can only hurt people's bodies. Like Julian can likes to hurt them, or can hurt them more readily and more ephemeral and arcane ways.
He just burrows into their soul.
I'm just saying, just like, oh, look at all your 401k, all your aliases.
And I guess so. Instead of putting Alex on the spot here, I would turn to Arthur and say,
I remember.
Am I wrong? Am I wrong in saying Julian has gotten to the very tips of our darkest secrets?
Julian, he is a predator, and we all are in our own ways.
Yes.
But Julian, he is like a panther. He lurks, he observes his prey, and then when the time is right, he ambushes it and strikes right for the jugular. Whether that be literal or metaphorical, it is true. If it walks like a duck, talks like a duck. But in this case, the duck was a panther. I myself am, I guess, more of a great white shark or grizzly bear. I see something I want dead, and I make it dead.
Yes.
Sometimes it's not so clean. It's not so subtle. When it comes to it, is he is in this urban jungle observing the other predators to know which ones he can pass by, to know which ones he must be wary of, and which ones might hunt him. I did the same thing when I came to this city decades ago, but I had clan. It was the gangrel here are different than c'est français, but the lone wolf is always the most dangerous.
Yes, this is true. Which is why it was so important to me to find more people who are like me, people who had the same thoughts. I was able to trust you and Julian to an extent because of this.
Is trust is you wander on in decades and eventually centuries. Depending on who you know, trust becomes more of a sliding scale of various grays and broken promises than something so black and white.
Yes, I have to learn to live in that gray area.
And just knowing to take risks, to make gambles. I have made gambles tonight, which may pay off, might bite me in the ass later, but I will live with them. Or, you know. But as it is, I have my own interests. Some are boring, some are delicate, but I will always put the nation of Kindred before everything else.
Boring, delicate.
It's like, is there someone upstairs?
No, I swear, it's just us.
That's the voice in your head telling you you're lying.
Yeah, it's like this. Listen, daughter from Coffney is saying, "Stop it." But there's you surely is. Oh, if it is not too prying a question, how long have you been Kindred?
Not very long. God, fucking can't find the words. Only years, tens of years. I was embraced in 87. It's new. All of this is new to me.
It's unfortunate. You should have had did your sire not teach you the proper ways? Or is that?
I went through the academy, yes. My sire was very absent. I had to be with someone who didn't align with me, who showed me the ways of Toreador, but not necessarily who I am.
Those kind of. I understand. I think I do.
I don't know how to relay this to Julian, that I was led astray and now I'm trying to get on the right path, the path of doing what's best for us as the Camarilla.
I think if you said exactly what you said to me, you said no names. You gave as little as you could, and it wasn't, at least from what I could tell, as honest as you could be.
He's been very restrained with us. I don't understand why I have to be so candid.
He is more in the public eye than the rest of us. That might be part of it.
This is true.
He is up on the ivory tower where the winds buffet strong and the birds of prey are quite large. But aside from the long way down, he does not have plan. He doesn't have great support in the Camarilla. He must tread carefully.
Mm-hmm.
He is, from what I have gathered, he has been here in good graces.
Yeah.
And he has proven himself to be, well, temperamental and volatile. He is competent and useful. Not saying I would use such a man because he is too beholden of old human trappings. I think we butted heads. It was good fun.
He does seem to rub people the wrong way. And maybe it is a matter of he needs to get with his clan.
Well, I feel since the other La Sombra came here, he made himself scarce. Perhaps it may have been that it is tension between where he sits among kindred society. But it's all speculation. Assume makes an ass up of you and me, no? All I can operate on is he is Julian to me as one predator to another is one that I have been watching, because this is of no offense to you or the sister, but he is the most viable threat to me. And so to keep your friends close, enemies closer, and if you become frenemies, even better.
How has he threatened you?
If we can work together.
What happened when I was
he
away?
Is, it is, I withheld information for my own devices. It led to a interesting exchange with several people, one of which you met, I think. You mentioned Ray. This is how I know of him, was this meeting. But my candid nature was it chafed him a bit. And so we, as jackals do when fighting over
all in good
carcass. This ain't this sport to me. I will not shy away from physical application, but as I said, he's an ambush predator. He will, unless he has no other choice, I don't think will attack anybody head on. That's at least how I see him.
Yes, I would agree with that.
Which is, of course, has perfect merits.
Arthur, your phone, your little whatever text phone you have, is going to flash a text message that there's a package for you at the Lion's Den. Right. You can have a runner bring it over to you here. You can go get it.
Is it like Underworld, like UPS, or just like, oh, like we've like the photo and everything, or can I ask like? Yeah, that's what the U stands for, Underworld Postal Service.
If you ask about it, it comes back with a question mark, and it says, big red envelope.
Okay, so it's not like, it's like, no, I got some ARs here. You want like,
it's not that big a package. It's just
okay.
Big red envelope.
He'll send a message to the a runner to have them swing it by.
Now that you can reveal your location, and Lilith doesn't mind,
he'll say leave it in like a trash can on the corner, and let me know the moment you've dropped it off, so that way it's not going up to her door and like sliding it in the mail slot or something.
Yeah, give him about an hour, and I'm sure that'll happen at least before the dawn.
Yeah.
And if you're committed to staying here for that time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I think Arthur and I are having a good moment here.
You are.
It's funny because we're both saying things, but never actually saying the full thing, and I think we both know that, and which is so good.
Heavily implied.
Something I think you've forgotten, but I don't think I should mention it. I'll wait for somebody to remember. But let's.
Fuck.
Do you want me to just give it to you?
Yes.
Because
Narvin's been sitting quietly in the room the whole time.
Oh.
So
Fair enough.
I can assume
I know that's precisely why, and it's like, if Narvin tattletales, it's why I didn't say it. Like, man, Julian's an asshole. One, because like he is, but isn't in his own subtle way, and
we haven't said anything untrue.
Play the track back. Let's just. I can't wait.
Yeah,
you guys are so.
Called him a predator in his own way. It's great,
and I think that he would like that. Frankly,
he should appreciate that. He'll like that.
Yeah, he's into if Arthur watched TV, he would say it's like he is the Vegeta to my Goku, no? And just like leave it at that.
You guys are great. Let me cut back over then to Julian, as it now is sometime between 4 and 5 in the morning. Are you going to stay over with Critias, or are you just going to stay in your downtown place?
Now that I have the suspicion that I have, no. Actually, yes.
Yes. Yes, which?
Yes, I'm going to go stay with Critias.
Critias at the University of Chicago is a good, he'll be close to your target point. Although you're talking about sending people to burn it down in the daytime, proximity probably doesn't matter, but you'll be close to it. You'll also be fairly close to where Lilith's pad is.
Yes.
You haven't been at Critias's yet, have you?
Not.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I don't have it loaded up immediately, but maybe I can find it real quick.
Yeah, I thought that we had, but maybe the museum is different.
The museum is different. The University of Chicago, Critias has an actual library there.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
And it's and of course I didn't label it as library, so. But I did call it Critias's room.
Nice.
So I think I can make this real quick.
Has Narvin been sending live tweets?
How much of that do you want to know immediately, Julian?
I mean, for
all that conversation.
So one, I guess the first question would be: would Narvin say anything at any point once they're done? I
don't think so. Okay. I mean, that's a Narvin call, but
yeah,
he's very loyal.
Yeah. Then he would have just turned his phone on, and recorded it.
Excellent. So yeah, you'll have a recording of that conversation. in the
So
most
give me
meta
some-
way
Give
possible.
me something to listen to on my way over to Critias.
Man, I could have sworn. All right, I don't have any sound for him, but I do at least have a room. All right. Welcome to Critias's library at the University of Chicago. And I suppose Critias himself will be there. Where is he? Maybe not. All right, skip Critias for now. I didn't know you were going there. God damn it. Players screwing up the game.
You're welcome.
But if you call Critias on your way over, he will say, you go to the library and you make yourself comfortable. Stay there as long as you like. And this is what it is. It's a beautiful, well-apportioned underground library with lots of rare tomes. The kind of Chicago are not allowed down here. Humans do not know that this place exists. And Critias likes to keep it that way.
Okay.
Even in the deep of night, you'll still find some students milling about, going through random texts. During the day, this place will be like a tomb, completely safe, but empty, devoid of anybody else.
I want to look up. Well, what kind of books do they have there?
Critias is a record keeper for the city. So here are a great deal of the histories of the Kindred, their workings, their machinations in Chicago, going back as far as they kept records.
And you have to ask permission to sire someone.
You do.
Okay.
That's a tenet of the Masquerade.
Okay.
Is that
So
you don't create without permission, you don't destroy without permission.
So then I want to look up the sire line of the Toreador and of the Bruja.
Okay. They're both there. There's quite a few on either side.
I'm looking for Kindred born that would have just been old enough to graduate recently. So in the past 20 to 40 years or so. It takes 20 years to graduate the academy.
Yeah, just about.
So yeah, someone around Lilith's age.
Are you looking for Lilith?
I'm looking for all of the Kindred born that would match whether or not the name says Lilith or not. If I come across her name, I'll note it down, but I don't trust that. So yeah.
Let me ask you, Lilith, have you always been Lilith, even since the academy days?
I mean, I probably would have started off as Amber.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
But at your becoming, you were Lilith.
Yeah.
And sponsored by Portia.
Right.
And those records exist. If you were, those are public records.
Hmm.
At her becoming, she's listed as Toreador. Amber isn't listed as any specific clan. And her sire is a crossed out name.
Under no group?
He was a Bruja.
Like crossed out or like censor block redacted.
Redacted, I'd assume.
This is an old book where all the entries are in Critias' own hand in script. This has been gone over several times with an ink fountain pen. Several lines all the way through. You can't make out the name underneath.
Does that name connect to any other names?
What, the one that's been crossed
The one
out?
that's been crossed out.
Not that you can tell.
Okay. Close the book, and I'm done here.
Then staying in the library during the day?
Yeah, absolutely.
Grab yourself a newspaper or magazine, kick back and relax. Let me go back over to Arthur as we now come up to about 5 o'clock in the morning, and the courier lets you know that, bing, it's there. If you run outside to the trash can, you'll find your envelope.
Pardon, I think that is my Uber Eats, and he'll just go and
Uber Eats.
It's like, did you just go kill someone? He'll just run outside, grab the package. Before going back in, he'll just, gangrel claw, peek in.
Into the trash can just to make sure.
He'll grab it and just to see what's in the envelope.
Well, first, let me tell you that it's a beautiful blood red envelope, fairly large, and it has your name written across the front. Again, very nice penmanship. If you open it, in black lettering. If you open it, it's another folded over card. You open it up. It's blood red except for black lettering. It says very little. Except it says, "Come feast, ... your eyes." It is signed Reverend E. And below you have an address where you can access Hate Church.
Hate Church!
And it's like normal kind of like Hallmark dimensions.
Bit larger, actually. The flip up time type, and if you were like the good Christmas card size, not like the shitty Christmas card size, but like when you get a good Christmas card, it's that size.
All right. He'll take out his.
Sounds funny to me though.
Arthur will take out his little black book, and he'll put the information in. Assuming it's an invitation, he'll fold it, stuff it into like little the sleeve envelopes, and just set the envelope that came in on fire and just throw it in the trash can.
The story seems to be that the man you had sent out with an invitation for Hate Church got this delivered to him to give to you. So you putting a feeler out there, this is your response.
Excellent. And there's no way of knowing if the entrance is, or if the address is the entrance to the labyrinth, or if it's a way in.
This is a pretty nondescript address. It just looks like a normal building that you think of that corner. You're like, I don't recall anything there. It's just an address.
Yeah, it's probably like some plain like laundromat or liquor, like no company name or anything. Yeah.
You can't picture it in your head, but when you go there, you'll figure out what it is, and then you'll see.
I can't wait.
But you're gonna have to, because you've got business.
I know. I am a quiver with anticipation. Because Vampire Fight Club, you guys. Okay. Yeah. Arthur will come back in with a little, pep in his step.
Pep in his step, yeah.
Time for bed, I think. Yes. Madame, if you would do the honors.
Yeah, if we want to take this right to the cusp of morning.
Before turning in, you will politely say to Narvin, it's like, indulgent dog and mistakes on you. I've had too much for that in 1 week.
Wait.
Don't mind.
I missed part of that. You cut
Yeah,
out.
you roboted out there for a second.
He's politely insisting on frisking Narvin to make sure that, because like, who knows, it all could be a deep cover.
This is true.
It's like
Paranoia.
it could be waiting to stab Julian in the back. It's like, I just want to make sure that you're not looking to politely put it up, fuck me while I'm sleeping.
Julian, what do you think? I think Narvin will stand up, and I think he will say something along the line. I'll let you phrase it, but I think he will agree, but in whatever way you want to, Tony, remind Arthur of that this is definitely an insult.
He also doesn't need to stay there.
Because Narvin's he's the liaison for.
Yeah, he's who I'm supposed to tell.
And as soon as you do, he can leave.
I suppose that's
but
true.
Once we're out, there's no guarantee. That's why. And it's like and I understand some offense may be taken.
Oh, some offense is being taken if you're going to insist.
But I was nearly set on fire this morning, so.
Narvin, I would be like a cheerleader for Arthur, telling him that. I mean,
it's in this. And listen, if you really want to cut it up to me when I'm in torpor, you have my permission. You've got a very nice face. And he
does have a gun on him.
He's like,
Narvin is always packing a weapon.
He's like, this is a nice piece. Julian treats you well. He'll go check the magazine, make sure it's not the gangrel bullets.
It's not the gangrel bullets, but it is his personal weapon.
It's like, no, did you choose this yourself?
Yes.
You have a very good taste in firearms, my friend. I'll just put it back and just like clap on the side.
He has no stakes, no fire on him. He doesn't carry a lighter or anything like that. He's just got his phone, his wallet, his piece.
Thank you for indulging me. I do not stay in other people's havens, and especially not with someone else's friends. I like being asleep in the controlled environment. But c'est la vie. You seem to be on the up and up, Narvin. Julian has good men. Au revoir. I'm going to bed.
Narvin's going to shake his head, wondering why you people don't understand what the Camarilla really means. It means that there is a safe environment for you where you go. That's what you're working towards. He's just going to bang his head against the wall, be like, these stupid gangrel.
Because the fucking blood red moon happened. That's why.
Can't put him back.
Yes, it's a lot easier to get a cat out of a bag than to put it back in. So,
we are running a little bit short on story because Sister Vindicta isn't here. And damn, Julian, you are at least going to get some kind of a text from her that just says, "Do Sable" with 2 exclamation points at it. Sorry about that, Arthur.
No, I'm sure it'll look great on the replay. So,
would it be easier just to kill them all?
Which all?
Yeah. He wonders that to himself.
Yeah.
And then goes, "No, you can't kill them all. You can't kill them. You can't kill them all. You can't kill them all." Okay.
A lot of inflections on that sentence. A lot of different inflections.
It's a spectrum of different emotions, especially since the phone that Narvin had on him that was recording.
When frisking, would Arthur have found that?
Was that what you were looking for?
Oh, he was doing like the full like TSA frisk.
You found his phone.
It's probably passcode locked. and just go and just
And it's not a weapon. I figured
Yeah.
you were looking for a weapon.
it's like
I
you're
don't-
obviously you're not wearing a bomb vest, so yeah.
Yeah. You didn't notice. I
mean,
can't even see a reasonable way you would have.
Yeah,
done
it's one of those things like he'll go if it's passcode locked. He's not going to be like unlock the phone so I can
Lilith
go
has
through your
something to
dirty
say,
phone.
apparently.
Yeah, go ahead.
We'll let her in.
I mean, usually, at least on my phone, when you're recording something, it does have like a little bit of a red outline around the time. Now, that being said,
You guys
would
can,
Arthur have
you guys can
recognized
see it if
that?
you want. I'm not advocating for you not. If you want to, you can.
The gangrel.
Exactly.
I mean,
Exactly.
you're lucky he doesn't eat the phone.
Unless
Yeah.
he gives it to me, that would be the whole other story. But
And
yeah, I don't think he's going to.
like Arthur, the fucker uses like a Nokia brick. Okay? It's because it's the next simple practical thing because it doesn't have like the ring dial on it and a hard line.
But you got to get text, so something get
Yeah.
a little upgrade from that, a track phone or something.
Also,
Fair enough.
easy to replace, and if you need to, you can just cave someone's head in with it. So, but yeah, he'll just go. He sees the little blinking red light and just like that would just waste the battery and just put it back in his pocket.
Julian, you're gonna have a hell of a listen later on.
Yeah. So he's just uploading it to whatever cloud we share, and I've just been sitting reading the newspaper, just listening in. A little while after this is over, I should have caught up and learned that they frisked my what's it called?
He's a retainer for you.
My retainer.
Valet.
A guest in her home.
She was
not-
advocating for it, though.
She was
That's true.
advocating for him to be frisked.
Yeah, she was.
I did
Yeah.
not do the frisking. I did not suggest the frisking.
But you're like, that is a good idea.
Yeah.
My paranoia is infecting everyone.
So
Yes.
so he's just gonna say, okay. And he is going to make a request, send a request, call. Because they're like making all his decisions. They're making his decisions for him. This is he wants to set up a meeting with Rosa Hernandez.
How do you want to do that? Yourself or through Arthur?
I was going to do it through Arthur,
Okay.
but he then frisked my dude.
Could you also blame him?
Yes.
Because he was setting fire in one of his own places.
How many times have I frisked you guys when you came to my condo or my lab?
Verbally or physically?
Yeah. Well,
He does have a point. Go for it. Yeah.
dope. So yeah. He's gonna reach out on his own.
You would have to admit that being in Julian's house, his condo, his lab that he set up, it's very much like our national forests. Leave only footsteps, take only memories.
And yet,
You are very protective about your own spaces. Just putting it in perspective.
yeah.
No, you haven't actually frisked anybody, but
No.
God knows what you would do if somebody took something off your desk.
That's for everyone. But the thing is, like, I don't frisk them. I don't do anything. I don't take their weapons. I don't check them. So that's why Narvin would be a little bit weird about it. But now knowing that that's how it is, yes, he's going to reach out to Rosa on his own to set up a meeting with her.
Okay. It is.
It's not going to happen tonight.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very late for tonight. And we will do that. As sun is coming up, however, let me get back to Lilith. How do you feel about it? Is the time right?
Just really brief aside, can I do my rouse check for healing some stuff?
You can.
Carry on then.
Then yes, you might get hungrier.
Yeah, I mean, I would suppose as the sun comes up and it's to the point
get there before that.
No.
What I mean is you need to be ready to sleep as the sun.
Yeah. Right, yeah. I would have some sort of window coverings or whatever in my specific room, which is where I would be. And then whenever I feel the time is right, which is probably right before daybreak, I would go ahead and try to make the vision happen.
You pull out your knife then.
Right.
This isn't a simple cut. You've actually got to do some physical damage to yourself. And Kindred are notoriously tough.
Right.
Yeah. So where are you going to stab yourself?
So it's like a full-on stab, not necessarily like a cut or something.
No, this is not a little thing. You got to go for it here.
I'd probably go for toward my hip in my leg.
You can.
Because I feel like that's probably where I've got the most meat. Yes.
Yeah. You bury the knife to the hilt in your leg, and you will take a point of superficial damage. Now, so you know how damage works in the game, you have a health track, that number of health.
Right.
When you take superficial damage, you've just put a slash there.
Right. But it's aggravated, right?
Aggravated is when it becomes an X.
Right. And the damage that I am giving is aggravated.
Oh, I thought it was only superficial that
you may scar yourself with 1 point of aggravated damage.
I shouldn't have written that.
It's up to you then.
Aggravated damage is hard for you to take from a simple weapon, is the point. Usually you have to work your way down the damage track and then go back over the damage track before it starts doing aggravated damage. So that's a lot. Make that superficial. That was a mistake on my part.
Okay.
Addendum. Yeah. Send it out for people to work and play test. Yeah. So this will make you yelp, make you bleed, stick a knife in your leg, but it will give you a flash of vision. What is it that you want to know?
I mean, I want to know exactly what I was trying to know, whether or not the Nos is at the temple and what area she's in.
So simplified, just Malort, finding Malort's location.
Yeah.
You get images flashing through your mind, and they're coming faster and faster. Some of them are just a blur. And what you can see is that this is Malort. Eventually, its time is slowing down. The blurs are coming closer together. The visual of it isn't being as stretched. It's starting to come shorter, and she's in motion. When you're first able to see through the blur, you're seeing her drive away from a cemetery. You're seeing her go across town. You're seeing her look to her right, and she has a passenger. And it's the one you know as, which one is it? Snowman and Baggy are the gangrel. It's a 1 round.
Right, the Bruja.
1 round, the Bruja is next to her. You see the car in front of the Masonic Temple. You see them kick open a plank on a window and work their way in. You see that they've made their way into the basement and that they each have built themselves wooden boxes. They've just cobbled them together from whatever scrap was laying around. They've piled trash on top of it, and they kind of slide in from the side. The whole place is falling apart.
Right.
The upper 2 floors were a gigantic room, was a big chapel. Parts of the roof have already sagged to the point where you could see the sunlight coming through the crease. The windows are all busted out, boarded up. There's very little left in the room. Even the balcony that was overlooking the second floor started to fall halfway down. It is a condemned property. And they will be in those boxes in the basement.
Okay. I would go ahead and relay that information that they are in those boxes in the basement, and both of them are in the boxes in the basement.
Yes, it is Malort and one round the Bruja.
Right. So I'd go ahead and just tell them that that's their best place to go to target.
Just tell our boys it's a rival shipment that needs to be liquidated, and then there you go.
How do you want them then, your men, between Julian and Arthur, how do you want them to do this? Just now that you have you've got a very specific location on where they're actually going to be.
I mean, first things first would be just the way I'm playing it. If I have my the thought palace set up right, primary accelerant all around the refuse pile where they've hidden their boxes, and then at points of ingress and egress, that lay equally potent swaths of that same accelerant, so that way if they somehow bust out and try and escape, it's either going to be catch on fire, rot Shrek, whatever. So just box them in basically synchronous point in almost like target pattern, radius out in almost 3 dimensions on doorways, thresholds.
It's a brick building with a wooden structure inside. Everything's wood. It's an old building, so it's even a wood floor, wood balcony, that kind of stuff. The plywood that is in the windows. So everything is brick for exterior structure, except for the plywood in the windows, and everything interior is wood.
Yes, I'm thinking, the primary concentration of accelerants where they are trails to basically literal firewalls at exit points, and so that way they can just throw a match and it'll shoom its way in, because you don't need to douse the whole place. The heat and the fire will rise. It'll start collapsing on itself before long, but as long as we confirm that they get dusted, then we're good.
So we're in agreement that you don't need white phosphorus.
Listen, turning brick into butter is always fun. Shit's great on toast, but since we're working on street level stuff, I think that'll be sufficient.
All right, Julian, same thing. You agree with sending your guys down to the basement?
Everything that Arthur said is fine, except Narvin won't go with them. His instruction has been to post up around in the buildings around it and put cameras so that he can, or at least monitor to see if anybody on fire runs out of the building.
Okay. This is not you have not instructed your basic human lackeys.
No,
that there should be somebody on fire running out of the building.
No, that's why their job is to set it on fire and evacuate, and Narvin's not going with them.
Okay. And as far as they're concerned, it's arson.
Yes, which is why I would recommend, just instead of their tactical nuke strategy, I'd recommend just fucking douse the place. Start from the top floor and go down to the basement so that it's already on fire before I don't want them to get on fire and wake up before the rest of the building comes down. So just fucking soak the place and then light it on fire and run.
That is a different point of view. But at the same time, your human lackeys are not meant to know of the Kindred life.
No, they're just destroying the building.
Yeah, Arthur would have just told them that there's if there was time to say like, oh, like are we just burning the building for like insurance, or if they need like a motivation, like listen, like the fucking Latin kings have have a shitload of dirty crank, and we need to get it off the street.
I think this is actually civic duty in your mind. You're doing this because it's a blight on the city, and it needs to go away.
Yeah. And it's like,
you don't want it saved either.
Yeah, Arthur's main thing is like the primary target is the dirty crank. That if that gets into circulation, it hurts all of our profits. It makes all of us look bad. I've got people on the inside telling me that's where it is. Make sure that shit's burnt. And if the rest of the building goes too, double excellent. They no longer have a place that they can use for stashing things again. But primary thing is to remove this bad stuff from the market.
Alrighty. How do we feel?
I think this is probably as solid as it's going to get. The first casualty of any operation is always the plan, so let's see what happens.
Let me see what we got here. I got. All right. So to rouse, I got to look this up, but I'm pretty sure it's a humanity roll. Your team will arrive, and let me just maybe give you a visual in this one. Give me a second. Oh, it's all the way over here. Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
It jumped me out. Sorry about that.
God damn it.
It did it to me the last game, too. I don't know where the hell am I? I don't want to be on this page.
It's just turning the tension.
Yes.
Guys,
fucking all James Wan just.
All right, try this one more time. Try to get you to the right place. The Masonic Temple, the abandoned Masonic Temple in Chicago. I'm playing a little fast and loose with the actual history of Chicago here. So if anybody is like a true Chicago file, they might even recognize this structure. The city of Chicago did actually tear this place down a couple of years ago.
There you go.
But it was the Southside Masonic complex, which included a gigantic temple inside and is now the haven, temporarily as it might be, for your group of, or at least two of the Gary coterie. Your team will surround the building, douse it with little grease and gasoline, and get ready to light the place on fire. Narvin will post up about a block away, making sure that his dash cam is turned around just to get this. And I think we agreed on a 6-man team will go in and light the place on fire. When the fire gets down to the basement level, or at least starts to surround the Kindred themselves, they're each going to roll their humanity and see if they can get a success.
Stay asleep. Stay asleep.
Please.
With no modifiers. Malort rolls herself a 2. She won't be rising.
Yes.
Let's see.
Come on, one round.
One round.
Come on.
One round is a brouhaha. and he needs to beat a 3 with a humanity level of 4.
Come on.
You're rolling the empty spaces.
Nice.
Except
One's a 10.
one is a 10.
That's a 3, yeah? The 10 counts as 2?
Yes. So he's got a 3. One round notices that this place is on fucking fire. He's going to try to run for the door.
Backdraft. Good old fire.
Let me see what I can
Gonna
do.
go into the sun?
I mean, be more fun.
Mom, look, there's a meth head.
Shit.
He will end up busting out of the basement. At least he's not going to go outside. He knows better, but he's now upstairs and he's in the main cathedral and everything is on fire around it. He's got to run for it. He doesn't see any of your men there because they've already taken off.
Yeah, except the one.
So he's got to try to get out of here somehow. I'm going to have him roll a composure survival. Can he remain calm enough to find a way to survive this? The entire building's on fire. His partner is going to be consumed by the flames because she hasn't risen. This is going to be a difficult one. Say it's a 6 that he needs to beat. Oh, well, shit. Sydney One Round Middleton has absolutely given up.
Deer meat headlights.
This fucking guy, after all he's gone through, he's just going to decide to lay down and be like, oh shit, I can't get out. And he's going to get on the head with a flaming beam and die. What a way to go. That son of a... Molort will not get a chance to rise, will not get a chance to break out. This poor bastard. I really thought he did.
It's like oversized steak of a beam just...
The Southside Masonic Temple, in a revision of history, will, instead of being torn down by the city, be burned to the ground by you lovely people. Either way, it paves the way for new gentrification, and the ashes of the vampires will never be found.
Well, I'm sure Julian is already gonna buy the property at fucking cheap now.
And with that, we're rolling up to the 1:30 hour. So without Lilith, without Sister Vindicta, I've got nothing else for us to do this evening. You have taken care of 2 of the Gary Coterie, 2 yet remain. Ah, what an exciting night. Burned a place to the ground. Isn't that great?
I'd love to do that.
And you didn't even do it yourselves. You just sent some minions. You delegated your destruction. I think that's a wonderful way to go.
Narvin will wait a while and then he will drive away. Before he goes to sleep, he will stop back Lilith's place and he will write a note that says,
I could have killed you all.
It's done. Just a little note, and he'll just put it on Arthur's chest. And then he'll leave.
Oh, no cuddles from Schnookums?
No, the note will be right over his heart. But other than that,
I had anticipated we were going to get into a more direct fight. So, damn.
That was awesome.
And I'm just saying I was all prepared for it.
That's fine.
Got some.
Keep being prepared for it. Hopefully, we don't have to do that.
A direct fight seemed a little worrisome.
Yeah. Why do that?
It's like,
Yeah.
the point. Go get him, Arthur.
We learned it from you, Dad. You burned people down when they were sleeping. We learned it from you.
Wow. What? Obviously, we can catch Malen Ray up on everything. She's going to enjoy this one, I think. We'll find out why she texted you Dusable with 2 exclamation points in the next episode. In the meantime, let's all just introduce ourselves. Grace, you haven't been here in a while. Say hello.
Hi, sorry about that. I was on vacation and time zones are a thing that I forgot about. So I played Lilith tonight, trying to turn over a new leaf.
Yes.
So far, gotten lots of roadblocks.
Not really. Just it's different now.
It's different.
Speed bumps. Not
There we go. Yeah, we'll do that.
And Julian White, Wes Anderson, but not the Wes Anderson. I
am the Wes Anderson.
The Wes Anderson. He's just a Wes Anderson.
Pretender. I'm Wes. I played Julian. Glad to be here.
We're glad to have Julian.
Yes.
Yeah. And Julian has stuff. He has information. He dipped his toe into some deep waters.
Yeah, if only the people he was traveling with were more forthcoming.
Yeah, a shame that you could only deal with just abject honesty.
Yeah.
Well, tell people where to find your show, because it's wonderful.
You can find me on Geeks on Seats, Mondays, 9:30 Eastern. I GM a Dresden Files accelerated game, which is really fun, called Savannah Under Shadows.
And it was completely stolen
by Diablo 4. Like, the trailer for that is just, it's a personal attack on me. So don't watch that. Watch our show.
Exactly. Now you're going to get that Diablo 4 audience, and you're going to go huge.
Exactly.
This is send like a cease and desist, like written in crayon, like super professional.
You'll never outdo our budget.
And Alex, Arthur Voland, and
I'm Alex Maxwell. Yeah. Dear God, I'm not Arthur. I am Alex Maxwell. I play Arthur Verlan. It was there was a lot of fun character moves tonight, and that's what I live for in these games. You can kill things with math, and then you can torture Wesley when he's off scene. It's either one's fun. But yes, you can find me anywhere games are played under the tag Stormwolf92. Don't get your hopes up. I'm generally terrible at video games, which makes it even more fun for you. But thank you everyone who stopped by to watch. Looking forward to see you all again.
Yes, and for those of you watching live, we appreciate it. We go on Saturdays. God damn, my mind is gone. And we've got this tremendous lead-in with Saturday Morning Superheroes. We've also got, Wes's show on Monday. We've got Tales of Greyhawk on Tuesday. We've got Tales of a Savage Land on Wednesday. We're back here on Saturdays, at least for the next few weeks, to wrap up this big old story. And then who knows, maybe we come back with a chapter 2 in the beginning of 2020. So thank you to Wicked Studios and Will DM, who's been producing the show, and to the cast. Special thanks to Melenre, who wasn't here today, but Sister Vindicta will return.
Wrath of the Sister.
With more problems than ever before, I'm sure. So thank you, everybody. And with my will, I'm going to shut off the Twitch stream.